Los Angeles is a 2.5-point underdog this weekend in Baltimore. So how much pressure is going to be on Rivers in this very game?
This is about Phillip Rivers, right? Phillip Rivers has been the bridesmaid in the NFL for a long time. All of these quarterbacks we talk about being the greats and high level, Phillip Rivers is neck and neck. When you look at the numbers, the success of a career over time, Phillip Rivers is as good as all of these guys we talk about. You know what he's never done? Never been to a Super Bowl, right? That's why we don't have him in the conversation. The pressure is on. As your career starts to come to a close, basically, this is the time you get it done. We saw Elway make the move. And they did everything to get him a Super Bowl, finally got it accomplished. So that's a career that you feel like he put a cap on, right? We sitting here talking about Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers retires, he still won a Super Bowl. I played with Tony Romo, who deserved to win a Super Bowl for the things that he did in Dallas, and the way he played, doesn't have one. So the conversations are different. This is Phillip Rivers' opportunity with a lot of talent, a defense that plays well, with Ingram and Bosa, like you're talking about that rush. If you can do it with four, you can play on the back end. Derwin James has been amazing as a rookie safety. You could be multiple with him. If Phillip Rivers not getting it done like ASAP, I don't know if he's ever going to get it done.
I think this is the year. This, to me, has to be the year. It's actually set up for Phillip Rivers, to be honest with you. The Los Angeles Chargers were 8-1 on the road. And one of their home games was in London. So, and you could make the case, they played every single game on the road.
On the road.
Because they play in a soccer stadium, and a lot of times the opposing team have more fans than the actual Los Angeles Chargers fans.
They have no home.
They have no home, okay? So they have to go the long, hard route at being a wild card team and being on the road three straight weeks. This is a team. They're not like the other. They're not like Chargers teams in the past where they may be very talented, but they folded, whether it's kicks or some other freakish type things that's happened to the Chargers. That hasn't been the case this year. When you look at the Los Angeles Chargers this year, they may be the most well-rounded team in the National Football League on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you already talked about it. You know, Bosa, Ingram, Derwin James, they got playmakers on both sides of the football. You know, and we're going to get, possibly getting Hunter Henry back at the tight end position. So if there's ever a time for Phillip Rivers, especially coming from that draft class with Big Ben and Eli Manning, to me, this is a year that Phillip Rivers needs to come through.
You led me to my very next point. I was going to say, where does he rank among the other quarterbacks in his draft class? Which, like you said, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger.
Only thing missing the Super Bowl.
He's just listen. Me personally, I would put Phillip Rivers ahead of Eli, and because people always say, well, how could you do that? Because Eli's won 2 Super Bowls and he's 2-time Super Bowl MVP. But I just look at the body of work that Phillip Rivers has put together, the numbers that he's put together, has just been amazing. So in order for him to complete his career, to me, this year, Phillip Rivers needs to go to a Super Bowl.
Ben gets benefit of the doubt because he had to go through the guys Phillip Rivers could never get through. And that's Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? But when you look at numbers, when you look at career, you look statistically, you look where the Chargers organization is, and the stability that they've had, it's because of Phillip Rivers. I know LaDainian Tomlinson was there. I played him early in his career. They had really good football teams. They just never could get over the hump because there were better quarterbacks than him in this division and better teams. And he had to try to get over that. So now, like you said, I'm 100% agreeing with you. I know people don't like that on this show. Phillip Rivers' time is now or it's never. Right? We talked about being window closing earlier. These guys are not young. They're not spring chickens anymore. Like, they getting up there in age. And the game is ever evolving. You're starting to see the college game being infiltrated into the NFL more now. Eventually, you are not going to be able to circumvent for these players that came in a time where the league was transitioning over. Like Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns. 50 plus, right? This is about to become a normalcy. Look at what Baker Mayfield did in a season where he didn't start every game. Like, we're trending in the direction of these young quarterbacks having immediate success, and probably it's going to start translating to them playing in Super Bowls and doing things like that. So like you said, Phillip Rivers may be on that last tail end of an opportunity to get it done before it makes the full transition and before he's 50.